you folks hear me pretty well through this microphone, or is it easier if can you hear me in the back? Okay, great. Thank you, Ann, that was really sweet. Obviously, you read something prepared by my office and nobody did any fact checking. I want to thank everybody for coming, and especially I'm grateful to Nancy Webb for these wonderful flower arrangements. Those are very nice. So thank you all for coming. I'm profoundly embarrassed but honored to be here tonight, and especially pleased to be supporting Prevent Blindness Texas, a phenomenal organization helping preserve sight in thousands of people every single year, thanks to the donations from people like you. When PBT invited me to accept this honor, they asked me to say a few words. Betty, my office manager, we were in her office, was present, and she leaned over to Ms. Crowder and she said, "He can lecture for hours and hours." She rose from her chair, leaned across her desk, and looked at me very pointedly and said, "They said brief, a few brief comments." So we're trying to keep this brief. So I didn't really know what you guys wanted to hear about. And so I asked the chairman of plastic surgery at Methodist Hospital, Dr. Jeff Friedman, what I should talk about. Surely he would know. He's a well-respected, internationally recognized surgeon and professor, an articulate leader. And he's undoubtedly received many honors and had to give many talks. So I asked him what to do, and he said, "Tell a joke and then sit the hell down." I said, "Great, Jeff. Can you give me some jokes?" And he had a litany of them. And I have to tell you, even one of them would make me blush. So we're not telling any jokes today. Before I sit down, I'd be remiss not to acknowledge all the people who really should be receiving this honor instead of me. My mentor and partner, James Patronelli, who taught me everything I know and everything I've forgotten about surgery. Our staff, many of whom are here tonight with us. Notably absent is Betty, our office manager, who is thankfully recovering nicely from major surgery. Our staff, of course, are the real power behind the excellent patient care and any success we've had. And they know I mean that most sincerely. Rio, who is incredibly talented and makes all of our videos, drawn figures, and multimedia that we use in patient education. Thank you. Denise, who snaps the whip in the back office with loving kindness, so nobody notices the pain. Wendy, who runs the clinic, and me ragged. And Wendy, who keeps me laughing all day. And I thank all of you who have come here tonight to support Prevent Blindness Texas, and those at home who were unable to make it, but sent in support nonetheless. My amazing wife, Susie, who has put up with me being a work widow for over 30 years, going through medical school, graduate school, and endless lab hours, and even now, as I often spend 19 hours a day at the office. Our phenomenal daughter, who despite my absence still remembers my name and face. And I thank the selection committee of PBT for honoring me so graciously. I'm still not sure why. And most seriously, our patients, some of who are here tonight, who have truly taught me everything I know about being a doctor, and who honor us every single day, entrusting us with their lives, their vision, and sometimes their appearance. When they called me to ask to accept this honor, I was honestly stunned, and I tried to decline. I don't think of our practice as preserving vision, but I guess we do. I think of us as saving eyeballs, optic nerves, corneas, people's brains from disasters, and helping people feel better about themselves. I thought we'd leave the vision preservation to the primary eye doctors, but I guess we do play a role as well. I lecture a lot to eye doctors, and I tell them, look beyond the eyes. After puberty, most people don't get regular PCP visits until they're around 50 and need to start systemic screenings. The GYNs have trouble noticing anything above the waist and below the knees. Yet the eye doctor is someone people may see their whole lives, and certainly around 40 for presbyopia, perhaps 10 years before their PCP. An eye doctor visit may be the first time a medical professional is able to make an important systemic diagnosis. If you look for it, you will see it. I kind of feel like I'm running a trailer for Field of Dreams. When Prevent Blindness Texas provides someone who otherwise can't afford an exam, PBT is potentially saving lives, or perhaps vastly improving people's lives by identifying systemic disease. I don't mean to minimize the importance of good eyeglasses, which alone in itself can open a person's world. But we have an amazing opportunity to help people just by looking in their eyes. I recently operated on a husband and wife pair of concert musicians who were also music professors. All their lives they thought the worst sense to lose was their hearing, until their vision was threatened, and then they both realized that they would easily trade their ears for their eyes in an instant. I'm not really sure why I'm standing here, why I was asked to accept the award, but I'm guessing that perhaps among all the things we've done in our practice, it is because of our recent work on thyroid eye disease. And honestly, I can't really take credit for that either. Yes, we've made around 25 videos about this disorder, over 4.5 hours of patient education material available online, but it was Rio who did all the heavy lifting, the illustrations, the animations, and videoing, soundtrack creation, editing, and putting up with my vociferous impatience. It is Jamie Patronelli who first made me aware of thyroid eye disease, and our staff who recognize and manage these patients every single day. So I leave you with this final message. Thyroid eye disease is incredibly common. The CDC, if you can believe your government about anything, conducted the NAMES 3 study in 1994, and they determined that at least 23% of the population in the United States over the age of 12 walking down the street has a thyroid disorder. The vast majority of which are autoimmune in origin, most common autoimmune disease in the US by far. The largest study, which looked at prescriptions written in the United States reporting that in 2017 and 2018, said that the number one prescribed medication in the United States is Synthroid, thyroid hormone replacement, number one among all other prescriptions. The NAMES 3 study stated that everyone, based on this information, should have a T4, T3, and TSH blood test with every physical exam. 3 pages later, in that 220-page manifesto, they said nobody should be treated based on these blood tests. Nobody should be treated based on those blood tests, but everyone is. In part, it's because the blood tests miss many people with systemic manifestations of this important autoimmune disorder group. And remember that the eye exam can pick this up. Importantly, as many as 80% of the people with autoimmune thyroid disorder have some eye findings, as well as systemic manifestations. And we're not just talking about the effects of thyroid throughout the body, we're talking about the antibodies that attack the skin, the joints, the muscles, the heart, the brain, the eye, with at least a 50% chance of infecting first-degree relatives, siblings, brothers and sisters. And a simple eye exam will often pick up the disorder before any blood tests do. Thank you, Prevent Blindness Texas, for all the great you do. And thank you all for coming.
Yes,